good morning. I'd like to begin by expressing my gratitude to all of you here today, especially to my family and to my friends, Father Provincial Jim Shea, Mr. Joe Sullivan, and the Board of Trustees, and the Installation Planning Committee, and friends and parents and alumni, and of course, our dons, our faculty, and our staff. For 161 years, Loyola Blakefield, at one time Loyola High School, has been a part of Jesuit as well as local history. From the cobblestone streets of downtown Baltimore City to the suburban landscape of Towson, we have formed young men in the Jesuit tradition to be critical thinkers who are sound of mind, body, and spirit, to use their gifts to inform the world, and in turn, leaving it better than when they entered it. Though our location has changed over the years, as well as the fashion trends and educational needs of our dons, we have remained faithful to that mission started in 1548 by St. Ignatius in Messina, Italy, when he opened the doors of the first Jesuit high school. The request to open the school came from the magistrates, who contended that this was truly one of the most effective ways to correct ignorance and corruption. Now, gentlemen, I'm not suggesting that you enter Loyola ignorant and or corrupt. Although you are, as we all are, works in progress. What I'm merely doing is setting the context for that original mission of the school. The unwavering mission statement and visionary thinking came several years later when St. Ignatius stated, "From among those who are now merely students, in some time will depart to play diverse roles. One to preach and carry on the care of souls, another to government of the land and the administration of justice, and others to other callings. And finally, since young boys become grown men, their good education in life and doctrine will be beneficial to many others, with the fruit expanding more widely every day." Amazing, isn't it? That the words that St. Ignatius spoke so many hundreds of years ago proved to be timeless and universal. Well, that, if nothing else, should energize us even more in sustaining this mission and vision so that 161 years from today, Loyola Blakefield educators still find these words of St. Ignatius applicable to the lives of the young men they are educating. This past Sunday, along with members of the Alumni Association and their families, I spent several hours picking potatoes at First Fruits Farm, whose mission is to provide fresh vegetables to local food kitchens. While I was there, I asked the son of J.P. Schultes, who's our president of our Alumni Association, how his shadow day was. He was thinking about joining us in the 6th grade. His response, amazing. I think that captures how we all feel about Loyola Blakefield. But like any other organization or institution, there's always room for growth. We can never be completely satisfied with being amazing one day and mediocre the next. There's no room for that here. We must remain forever unsettled in a way that pushes us towards greatness every day we set foot onto campus and every day we represent this fine institution. We must always act, adults and students alike, with a sense of urgency as a proactive way for us to proceed. We must set the standard for the private schools in the Baltimore area. We must be the one against whom all other schools compare themselves, whether that be the curriculum we offer, the championships we win, the accolades we receive, the level of alumni engagement, the intellectual stamina of our faculty, or the visionary leadership of our administrative team. We must be the school of choice for all families in the Baltimore metropolitan area. Families should not be saying, "Why Loyola?" but instead, "Why not Loyola?" Where else will you find educators who are ever mindful of the evolving needs of our dons, creating and recreating curricula in a way that challenges our young men? A physical plant staff who arrives hours before the sun comes up, preparing campus each day for the arrival of our faculty, our students, and our staff. Administrators who are setting a vision for the school, one that will sustain itself for another 161 years. Parents, some of whom travel as far as 50 miles to allow their sons to experience a Loyola education and entrusting them to our care. Our alumni, who after walking through the hollow many years ago, and some more recently, remain fully engaged in the life of their alma mater. The Society of Jesus, and in particular the Maryland province, who support our efforts in maintaining the Jesuit charism of our school. And of course, our dons, who every day make us proud to assist in their formation as they navigate the sometimes challenging, yet incredibly rewarding landscape of adolescence. By the Board of Trustees, I have been given those proverbial bricks and mortar, not to begin building, but instead, together with all of you, to continue the great work that so many others have begun. The likes of Father Ferdinand Wheeler, Mr. David Kennedy, Father Buck Sheridan, Mrs. Mary Crean, Dr. Vince Fitzpatrick, Mr. Michael Iampieri, Mr. Joe Broom, Mr. Jerry Savage, Father Lloyd George, Miss Johnny Alston, Mr. John Wheaton-Camp, Mr. John Stewart, and especially, on this day in particular, to Father Jim Salmon, who is one of our former presidents of Loyola Blakefield, who has joined us here today, perhaps without whose leadership we would not be here today. So Father Jim Salmon, thank you for being here, and thank you for everything. So it is truly an honor to continue this good and noble work and to co-labor with all of you in all of our efforts. And finally, as St. Ignatius charged his first companions to go to the frontiers, so too is Pope Francis calling all of us to do the same. And in this quote, he's addressing the Jesuits, but you can take the word Jesuit and the word society, in which he's referring to the Society of Jesus, and I'd invite you to put in Loyola Blakefield. The Jesuit always thinks, again and again, looking at the horizon towards which he must go with Christ at the center. This is his real strength, and that pushes the society to be searching, creative, and generous. So together, we look to that horizon as that which serves as our compass and our driving force, as together we lead Loyola Blakefield deeper into the 21st century. Thank you.